My name's Don Smith. I'm with SSI Consulting, and I'm here today with Larry Rosborough, President SSI. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, Don. How are you?
Good. So, Larry, let's talk about preparing a new leader in an organization or helping a more seasoned leader take the next step in their career.
Sounds like a great plan.
Okay, so why is it important to train a new leader that is already one of the best workers?
Well, Don, it's a great question, and it's part of a trap that a lot of organizations fall into. They assume sometimes that the best worker in any given area will make a great supervisor because they're best. Fill in the blank for your own organization, but maybe they're the best welder, they're the best programmer, the best accounting, they're the best line operator that you have. The problem with that is that the skill required to be the best is not the same as what's needed to be a supervisor or a leader. And in some cases, it's just the opposite.
Okay, can you give me an example of what you mean?
Sure. Let's consider Alex. Alex is the best that they are because they have the skill to see 4 or 5 steps ahead, and they never waste any motion in whatever they're doing. And we've all seen Alex's in our operation. And I suspect most of us have said, we need more Alex's in this organization. The problem is that our Alex that we're talking about is very quiet, reserved, avoids all conflicts, and can't even describe how they're so efficient and organized. Great for an efficient operator or a welder or programmer or whatever they are, but maybe not the greatest skill for a supervisor.
Okay, so does this mean that we should never select somebody like Alex to be a supervisor?
No, it doesn't mean that we can't select Alex's, but what we have to be is consider on how are we going to make Alex successful. If in fact Alex wants to make that step to be a supervisor or a leader. Same as with a more experienced leader is if we want to promote somebody to that, how do we make them successful? How are we sure of their success?
Okay, so what are your what thoughts do you have then on how to make them successful?
Well, for me, there's 2 things that are critical to make somebody successful or to allow them to be successful. It's competence and confidence. And unfortunately, what we see sometimes is that we take a person who's successful in their current role, the welder, even a middle manager, and we assume, yes, the assume word, that they're both competent and confident for the next step. And when that happens, we sometimes take those people, drop them into the new role, and hope that they make it. Sometimes that works, but most of us have probably seen situations in our own organizations where that doesn't work very well. And then that becomes extremely hard on the person and on the organization.
So what can be done better than that?
Well, if we want to consider both competence and confidence, the first thing we need to do is look at the skill the person needs to take on the new role, or at least get them started in the new role, and then look at how do we provide the skill training for that. Once they've had a chance to learn and we get a chance for them to practice, and they can build up their confidence. But we need to assess what skills are needed and if there's a gap, and then we've got to close that gap.
Okay, so how does that work?
Well, let's go back to Alex. Great operator, great welder, whatever they are. But as I mentioned, they were very quiet and reserved. Does Alex have adequate communication skills to do the next level job? So for this example, let's say no, Alex doesn't have those skills. So if that's the case, we need to help Alex develop some communication skills to build their competence first, and then also to be able to practice those skills to build their confidence. Maybe an organization that you're in has some good in-house training and a great program that can target that skill area. Even if you don't, there's still some options. We can send Alex outside to get some training, possibly pair them with somebody in-house that even if we don't have a real program, but maybe we can pair them with someone in-house to help them, or we can provide them with an external mentor to work with them to help build that skill and then their confidence.
Okay, so is one method better than the other?
Well, that can be a really complex question, and it depends a lot on the organization, the size of that organization, the complexity, and even the resource level that they have. And the person that we're trying to train, in this case, Alex. So I'm going to pick on Alex one last time today. The organization finds a great looking training program offered by a renowned organization that does this training. And it has participants from a variety of different organizations that take place in their type of training. And one of the key aspects is role playing, and that's to help assist in skill development. Unfortunately, this could be one of the worst things that Alex could imagine. Remember before I said they were shy and somewhat introverted. And getting in front of a group of people they don't know and having to role play a situation, almost guaranteed Alex is not going to get much out of that type of training. In Alex's case, they might actually do much better with a one-on-one mentor, internal, if you can find somebody in the organization, or an external person that you bring in.
Okay, so that sounds interesting. Do you have any final thoughts on the topic?
Yeah, I think the most critical aspect is recognizing that a good operator or even a good middle manager that we're looking to move to the next step, it's important to understand to make sure that they're ready. And in today's labor markets, we cannot afford the old trial by fire or sink or swim approach. It's just not going to work. As leaders in our organizations, we've got to ensure that the people we ask to move to that next level are both competent and confident. And that's for their benefit as well as for the organizations. There's a lot of options out there on how to do that, how to build that competency with some skill training, and how to help them build confidence in that. And if anybody would like to reach out to me and talk to me more about this, they can feel free. I'd love to talk to people about better ways of preparing our new leaders for their new positions.
All right, well, excellent. Well, thanks, Larry.
Thank
So
you very much.
for our viewers out there, as Larry mentioned, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. You can put comments in the comment section below. So with that, thank you, Larry.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate it.
And to our viewers out there, have a great day.